This is... I don't know why I'm so anxious about this. Hello folks, Grace here, and thank you for joining me today. Today's project is based off of a need for me to actually get rid of yarn. I keep doing this thing where I'm like, I use yarn for a project, I still have a bunch left over, and then it just collects and amasses. So I went through my stash and found my 5 smallest skeins of yarn and a close runner up here in the gray. I decided to make a project that would hopefully use up this yarn. What I found that I was interested in and that would be useful to my life is a trivet. The official name for the pattern is called, that's disappointing, it's called Wavy Pad. Yeah, but it is a trivet, and then it's basically like a flat grid, and then coming up from that are like these ruffles. So when you place things on it, the ruffles are what's holding it up, and I just think that's really cool and smart and interesting. And I want to learn more about the logistics of that and maybe implement that in other things. So to find this pattern, I went on Ravelry, my good friends. It's called Wavy Pad by Naztazia, Naztazia. It helpfully takes you to a website that has a lot of detail about how to do this pattern, including their own video on how to do it. So, you know me, I'm not going to be giving you a how-to step-by-step. If you'd be interested in it, you could find it there. But let's make it and ideally get rid of this yarn. I wasn't sure how I felt about the teal and blue and green all together, but I actually really like them all together. It feels kind of like lush and cozy. Like, I would say this overall color palette, it makes me think of like hobbits. I don't know, just throwing it out there. It makes me feel like if I was walking through Hobbiton, like this would be like the colors of everybody's front door. And then obviously the green is everything else. But yeah, so with that in mind, we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna kind of put these aside. So the base of this project appears to just be kind of like a grid that you build the ruffles off of. And so for that, I'm going to use this gray since it's going to be on the bottom and nobody's really going to see it. It's not going to come through to the top. Okay, so we have the right number. Is it square? Not really, but you know, that could be for a number of reasons. Maybe my stitches were too tight, maybe, I don't know. There's a couple other reasons. I'm just not thinking of them right now because I'm not totally with it today. So what I'm going to do is fasten this off, and then we are going to get started on the squiggly bits, which involve these colored yarns. So let me fasten that off and we'll keep going. So this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the green yarn. I want that along the outside, and y'all might remember this particular yarn from a video early on the channel where I made a table runner. This is left over from that project, and so we're gonna put this around on the squiggles. The premise for these ruffles is that they're gonna go kind of back and forth around this grid and ruffle their way around the edge, and then they're gonna kind of interlock. So one will be on the outer edge, and then another one will be the next 2 rows in, doing kind of the opposite, like in, well, no, I guess doing like the same, but like 1 step in, so interlocking with the ruffle that was around the outside before. The instructions say to start on the outside and work your way in. I don't necessarily think that that's gonna be easier than starting on the inside and working your way out, but I am gonna do it because I am worried about having enough yarn. So if I can go around and use the bulk of the yarn and then have a better idea for which colors I'm gonna have for the inner rows and what's gonna work better for that, because I don't necessarily, you know, want or need to stay in a rigid pattern with these. What I want to do is use up the yarn. So if I have enough green for the outer edge and one inside, and you know, same with any of the others, then I would rather have that worked out by using the one that's going to use more, or by doing the ruffle that's going to use more of the yarn first, and have a better idea once I get to the inside what I have to work with there. Hope that makes sense. Okay, following the charts, work on the outer ruffle first. Yep, okay. So I think I'm going to start here because this one goes all the way around this square before doing like effectively a zigzag, as much as you can do a zigzag on a square, but just like working around the edges. Okay, I'm gonna make 3 half double crochet in each of these bars. So let's get started. There's the first side of her. I like it. I do regret choosing such a light color. I wish I had picked something darker so it's a little less visible. But I think, once this gets kind of used and worn down a little bit, it'll cover up a little bit more. I don't know. I might make some strategic stitches, or if I have enough yarn when this is over, I might just go over the bar there with a couple stitches, or maybe I'll just be fine with it. That too, that could work. I don't know if you can tell by my everything, but I do need to go take more cold medicine and then also get some caffeine. Oh, there goes my voice. Okay, I'll be back. All right, we're back. Caffeine and cold medicine should take effect shortly, so I'll be back to being my chipper self, or not, we'll see. All right, I will say that I think I have definitely overestimated how far this green yarn is gonna go, and that maybe I should pull it off and move to one of the inner rings, but I feel like I gotta give it a fair shot because I'm really bad at estimating that. Every time I'm like, oh, there's not gonna be enough, I have plenty. So I'm gonna keep going with the green and hope that I can get through this full row, but this 1/4 of it did take like half of that ball of yarn with it, so we'll see. Depending on how far I get through this before I run out of this green yarn, this project might turn out to be a true smorgasbord of yarn, but let's see, let's get a true idea of how far this is gonna go. Because, you know, if I can get it to go the whole way, that would be delightful. That would be ideal. That would be the goal. The end. Here's how much we have left to do. 2 more sections. 2, 6, 5 more stitches. This is... I don't know why I'm so anxious about this. At this point, whatever stitches I can get out of this are just gonna be it. If I can only get 1 or 2 in this bar, which it looks like I'm having some difficulty getting anything at all. What if I just tie this to some other yarn so I have a little bit to work with here? Okay. Just gotta get at least one stitch out of this. I think we might be able to do two, but not with weaving. Okay. All right. Is it to the pattern to only have one stitch in this last section? No. Are we gonna let that stop us? Also no. Okay. That is very... It's like satisfying and relieving, but like also like that was a nail biter there. Caused me much more anxiety than it was really worth. Okay. So we successfully eliminated one skein from the stash. That's all that's left. Like it. Feels good. Feels like a weight off my shoulders. Now let's do the rest of this mat, and hopefully we'll be able to repeat that process with maybe a little less anxiety 4 more times. It's getting hot back here. I need a hair tie. All right, so next. These are our 4 colors to choose from. I was thinking teal next to the green. They're kind of similar, but I feel like putting them next to each other highlights their differences. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And then we'll do various. Here's hoping this is enough to get through the row. It will be substantially less, one, because it's set in one, so it's gonna be at least one shorter on all sides, but also because this row won't be going around the corners like this one did. That's gonna be an every other row thing as we move our way to the middle. Row number 2, complete. We got green, we got teal, caffeine, and we got a next color coming. I think we're gonna do orange. Orange, you glad? Okay. Now this one is obviously gonna be the next row in. It's feeling very autumnal. I like it. Now for this next row, we're gonna continue what we were doing. This one will, like the outer row, have these like corner hook arounds. So we're gonna be starting here and going in there and around, and then continue from there. The bottom of this looks really interesting. Okay, so next it's between purple or blue. I think I'm gonna go purple. Something about this stage right here, but before going any further, makes me think of like a little vegetable patch. Very cute like that. Now, I think I'm actually gonna take another break before I start this next row because soup should be done. I'll be back later. All right, still day 1 here, but we've eaten, we've hydrated, we've rested, and we've taken more cold medicine. So now we are back and ready to finish this bad boy. Picking up with purple, I'm just gonna jump right in. I will say it is becoming much more square, which I'm very happy with. But my choice right now comes down to this blue, right? So I have 1, 2, 3 more rows left. Do I want to introduce another color, namely this blue, or do I want to just go back here and do these 3 colors again? I think the green might be the only one that's actually getting finished today. That's actually gonna be done. I do like all of these colors together, and the green is very nice with them. I think I'm gonna cut out the blue. I think the blue's gone. It's going back on the shelf to live another day. Okay. I wish I had more of the green right now. Okay. Teal or orange next. Orange. Okay. Gonna wrap it back around. These are probably good to just sit in there. Let's jump right back into that now that that decision's made. I'm not sure how I feel about the orange, purple, orange. Maybe I should just go through the pattern over again and do the teal, orange, purple. If the button lands ridged side up, it's going to be orange, and if it lands flat side up, it's going to be teal. That's the flat side up. Pull it out and start again. Okay, roll it back, try again. All right, so we're down to that. I'm gonna weave this end and then we have 2 more rows to go and then it's done. We're gonna talk a bit about how I feel about this project, because why not? It's kind of the whole thing, it's what we do. We're gonna do purple orange, because the orange, there's a lot more yardage than I thought initially, just because of how thin it is. This ends up being a lot more than this, even though they're very comparable in size, because it takes so much more of this to make this ball. So I think I'm gonna do purple and then orange, use the least amount of orange, and then potentially be able to use this on something else. And then the purple and teal, their remainder can go on my magic ball. Okay, I'm gonna get going on this purple. Okay, it's complete. Thoughts, feelings, remarks, regrets. Things I regret: choosing this gray. It's too light. I should have chose a darker color, especially with such a deep color palette. Like I have all these jewel tones and then just like these little bits of practically white that you can see. That's on me. That's a bad choice. But I do really like the way it came out. Will it serve the purpose I thought it would when I started to make it? I don't know. I don't know that it'd be effective trivet. It is advertised as a pad. Maybe I could use it here and I could have it be my mat for my yarn bowl and my hooks so that I'm not constantly doing that. So then I might use it here instead of putting my yarn bowl on a coaster to stop it from scratching the table. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Please like, share, subscribe. We post most Fridays, but if you want to make sure not to miss anything, remember to ring the notification bell. You've been great. I've been Grace. Continue to be awesome and remember to be excellent to each other. Have a great day. Bye.